Matt, it's time we talk Cruella.
Yeah, Disney's new villain origin story, live action, starring Emma Stone and Emma Thompson.
There's a lot to like here. Let's start with the cast, as you mentioned. Emma Stone, Emma Thompson, excellent. And there's a couple of scenes with them together, having conversation, chewing up the scenery, both having fun with these characters, and it permeates off the screen, and the audience, I think, is going to enjoy this as well. I know I certainly did.
Yeah, and the look of the movie too. This is so like eclectic with the looks and the fashions and the artwork were amazing. Like the fashion design, the costume design in this movie is a step above the rest and very punk rock, which obviously I'm a big fan of, right?
And we have to talk about the killer soundtrack. Hit after hit, and I'm talking some heavy hitters of songs. I'm not joking when I say this might be the most stacked movie soundtrack since Forrest Gump.
Yeah, and that really is saying a lot. I even noticed like they had the Stooges, Now I Want to Be Your Dog, which if you think about it, actually makes a lot of sense for this series.
This is not, I want to clarify, a remake of 101 Dalmatians. This is an origin story. We meet Cruella when she's young, and one of the interesting things they do this time around is they let us have sympathy with this character. We understand why she had to sort of choose the path she chose, and we end up cheering for Cruella this time around, and I think it worked. You?
Yeah, no, I did think it worked as well. It was fun. She has almost a split personality in the movie, which matches her sort of two-tone hairstyle. She's the nice sort of demure girl on one hand, and then she's Cruella on the other, who's just off the hinge. And I found that dichotomy very interesting and fun.
I did as well. We talked about the two Emmas, but rounding out the cast, you have Mark Strong plays a great supporting role, and also Paul Walter Hauser, who played Richard Jewell recently, pops up as one of the henchmen, and he plays this doofus, sort of lovable doofus, so perfectly that I know he's going to be typecast into this role, but go for it, Paul. You're excellent at what you do.
Yeah, you are excellent at what you do. He was also that pretty much same role in I, Tonya.
Correct, exactly.
Yeah.
And it worked there, and it worked here again. You're laughing along with these characters. How about some nitpicks?
For me, the nitpick is it really sags into the second act. The third act comes, and actually there's a turn that I wasn't quite expecting that made the movie like totally exciting, kind of gave it a more Joker-esque feel. But prior to that, that second act sag, man, almost lost me.
Yeah, the movie clocks in at over 2 hours long, and that's probably a little long for a Cruella de Vil origin story.
Yeah.
So I think they could have trimmed it down about 20 minutes. And for me, the ending is a little clumsy, unfortunately. Throughout the film, we see Cruella do these very creative stunts to one-up Emma Thompson's character, and I loved them. But when they get to the end, the big grand finale, the big moment, I thought that was the weakest of them all. So instead of like hitting the mountaintop at the end, I think it sort of peaked with the stunts when they were at the fountain and everybody came running out of one fashion show, and then they were playing this like punk almost moment on the fountain with the fashion. That was probably the highlight for me.
I don't know if you know anything about fashion, and I don't know a lot. I'm more of like music and obviously a film person. But Cruella's designs obviously reminded me of like Vivienne Westwood and Jordan Mooney and some of the
Look at you go, Matt.
Yeah, the early London punk fashion scene. And then Lady Gaga, I got a little bit of that, you know?
Sure, I could see that.
With the stunts, she would come dressed up in these wild outfits, and it was really cool.
One nice touch I do want to highlight was she gets a DeVille, the car, and they joke about how it spells devil. And she finally gets behind the wheel in a chase scene, and it was great how much it looked like the cartoon, paid homage to the original.
It sent me down that rabbit hole on YouTube watching the old clips from the Disney animation classic, especially that scene where she's doing the chase in the DeVille car. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I love those touches, man. It was great.
Oh, I did too. For me, this is the Banksy of fashion movies.
I would say this is the Joker for kids.
Out of 4 Jaws, I'm going 3.5.
I'd go 3 with this. That middle sag did bother me a little bit, but this is a big recommend for me as well.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And while you're at it, join us on Patreon. We're patreon.com/cinemajaw. There'll be a link in the show notes below.
Thanks for watching.